Assalamu alaikum, this is SPTV, Somali People TV. Welcome to a special interview with Franklin County Commissioner Erica Crawley. Commissioner Crawley is the first black woman to serve this position. She's a mother and a champion for causes such as maternal health, expanding good paying jobs and access to quality education. Commissioner Crawley, it's indeed a pleasure to have you here with us. Thank you for accepting this interview.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Commissioner Crawley, we all know that you're up for re-election, but many people confuse with Franklin County commissioners with city council members. So I want you to take a little bit of a time and explain basically what is the role of the Franklin County commissioners and how are they different than city council members?
Great question. I think I have spent most of the time that I've been in this role after I got appointed really trying to educate individuals on what we do as commissioners. So we are a creature to statute. So we were created by the Ohio Revised Code. And what we are the administrative and the appropriating arm of county government. So we approve budgets for all 35 county agencies, even other elected officials. So whether it's our sheriff, our coroner, our auditor, treasurer, recorder, the common pleas court, and the law library, like we are responsible for approving budgets and serving out as the administrative arm of county government. We hold property, county buildings, as well as like the sheriff's cars, those squad cars, those are property of the commissioners. And then we are the sole taxing authority for the county. So whether you see a county levy on the ballot, that has to be approved by the commissioners. Sales and tax use, that is approved by the commissioners. So the difference is we manage a little more than a $2 billion budget. Most people know of us through Health and Human Services, like Job and Family Services, our Office on Aging, Child Support Enforcement, all falls under the Board of Commissioners. City Council, they are by charter responsible for like police, fire, and sewer. But we are the largest social safety net of the county.
I know that you are passionate about employment and giving many Franklin County residents access to jobs. What policy changes or investments do you think are necessary to increase broader employment in Franklin County? So
two things that I'm proud of since I've been on the Board of Commissioners, and I think going forward we will continue to invest in when it comes to black and brown individuals or our new Americans who are emerging citizens, is making sure that they have access to capital. So a lot of our new emerging Americans are business owners, or they want to be business owners. So not only are we supporting small businesses, but they have to employ employees. So we want them to be able to have access to capital to open businesses and expand their businesses, and then employ our neighbors in the community with good paying jobs. I think the other place that we continue to make investments, and I think we could do better when it comes to outreach, to make sure that we have our refugee and immigrant population feeling like they're, sharing in the progress of our county, is our workforce development programs. So we have 7 workforce development programs that we currently have running. Building Futures and Driving Futures and Roads to Work are our flagship workforce development programs. And that gives our citizens who are underemployed or unemployed access into the middle class with good paying middle class jobs with the trades. So either you can choose from 17 construction fields that you want to go into, or you can get your CDL and then become a member of the Teamsters Union, get with a trucking or logistics company, or purchase a truck and start your own business yourself. So I think we're excited about where those programs are going and expanding those, like we've been able to do this year with the American Rescue Plan Act dollars. But I think also like our tech women of color, we just had our first cohort graduate today, 9 women who are from all different backgrounds, ethnicities, new immigrants and refugees are part of that program. And as we look at black and brown women in particular, less than 5% of folks in the tech industry are women who come from diverse backgrounds. We want to change that. As Intel or Honda and other tech companies are coming here and looking to grow, we want to have a workforce that's not just for today, but a workforce for the future. So expanding those programs and outreach so everyone in our community can feel like they have access to them is what we're working on.
What is your vision for Franklin County? What changes would you advocate for if you get reelected?
So my vision for Franklin County is one where every one of our neighbors have the same opportunities and access to thrive and not just survive. It is not okay where some of the residents in our community are, prospering and moving up an economic mobility ladder, and then some are falling behind. Everyone should be able to share in the growth and the progress of our community. And so what I would like to see happen, should I be elected on November 8th for a 4-year term, is to really focus on housing. I think we need a real housing strategy. We know that we are already under or behind 55 to 60,000 units of affordable housing units. And we know that especially Black and brown individuals, when it comes to home ownership, are the ones who are most impacted by not having the access to capital or assistance to be able to get into the market and buy homes. So I will have a real focus on trying to have a regional strategy, working with internal and external stakeholders to really put a dent in our housing stock and making sure that, one, we have developers who are building more affordable housing units that are affordable in a perpetuity. I think the other thing that you will see is an expansion of our workforce development programs, but a real concerted effort to stabilize the foundation of childcare. We cannot have a growing economy if people don't have access to childcare and people don't see childcare as an infrastructure issue. If we do not have access to high affordable quality childcare for people who are working to be able to put their children in and feel safe and secure so they can go to work and go into the workforce, then we will continue to have people who aren't sharing in the progress because they can't work because they can't afford childcare. Childcare is out of reach for a number of people, even if they have access, because of how much it costs. So I think you will see a concerted effort to expand access to high quality, affordable childcare countywide.
You are a proponent for diversity in Franklin County. How do you think it's important to see diverse faces holding higher level positions here in Franklin County?
Well, I think it's important, for people to see folks who look like them in high places. Like, representation matters. And I can speak for me. So I was appointed to the Board of Commissioners last year in 2021. I was in the House of Representatives and I resigned. But come November 8th, should the people of Franklin County elect me, I will be the first Black woman ever elected to the Board of Commissioners. And this county was founded in 1803. So it's 2022 to have its first Black woman elected. It's kind of crazy. We shouldn't be at the place where we continue to have the first, but I'm excited that I get to be the first. But I also believe that I won't be the last. So I believe in lifting as I climb or pulling others with me. So I won't be the first Black woman on the Franklin County Board of Commissioners, and then we won't have another one for several years. I want other Black and brown girls who come from the same background that I come from, which was the inner city in Youngstown, who faced all kind of adversities growing up, to see if she can make it through all of the adversities, the highs and lows, the successes and failures, I can too. So that's what I think is important for us. One, not just because representation matters, but it also matters to have our voice and different perspectives at the table. My life experiences are different from your life experiences or somebody who might be white or Caucasian. And we all can learn and grow from each other. And that's how we build a Franklin County that works for everyone, when we have diversity of not just faces, but diversity of thought and experience.
In the state of Ohio, Black Americans have higher infant mortality rate when compared to other communities. So how do you think we can reduce infant mortality rate for Black and brown communities here in Franklin County or in the state of Ohio?
Great question, because that's been the work that I've done since I've come into office, whether it was in the State House or at the county. It's unfortunate that Ohio continues to be a leader in Black infant mortality rates. That is not something that we should be known for. We could be a leader in infant vitality and maternal vitality, but we could only be a leader when we have policy change. We need policy change and we need investment at every level. So we need the local, we need the state, and we need federal investments in making sure that, one, people have access to high quality health care, and that they go into a healthcare system that treats everyone equitably and fairly, and that we don't have people who are taking care of our health, our healthcare needs, who come with bias and don't understand the different environments that folks come from and dismiss people's, if I'm complaining that I can't breathe, that you're not like, oh, it's okay, you just had a baby, what do you expect? It's like, oh no, maybe we need to run some tests to see that you don't have a blood clot in your lung. Like, that happens all the time. Where I can just talk about my own experience after I had twins, where I was having extreme pain in my pelvis. I go to the emergency room. My twins were only a week and a half old at that time, and sat in the waiting room for hours with my mother for them to only tell me, you know what, you got a pocket of blood collecting in your pelvis, go home and take some over-the-counter pain medicine, you'll be okay. To understand that I had a pocket of blood collecting in my pelvis, that's how people hemorrhage. To dismiss it as if, oh, it's okay, just go home and take some over-the-counter medicine, that's how I could die. I need people to take those types of complaints seriously. That's how women die every day, during childbirth and after. So we need people to understand, our healthcare providers in particular, to take anti-racism training, to be able to check their own bias and understand that what you heard about Black and brown individuals having higher pain tolerance. We have a pain tolerance just like everyone else, but our complaint shouldn't be dismissed and we should be heard. I think that's how you get to decreasing the infant mortality rate and maternal mortality rate. But then I think also what you have is people who want to invest equitably. This isn't an equal system. We all don't start at the same playing field. And so when we have equitable investments, that means we're looking at investing in community-based organizations who have a pulse on the community and are willing to do home visiting services that aren't just, oh, let's check the box. That they are really invested in families, prenatal and postnatal. And that's what it will take to change the trajectory of infant mortality in this county, but in this state.
Franklin County, as we all know, has the highest immigrants and refugee community in the state of Ohio. So how will you build a strong relationship with new Americans and the immigrant community in Franklin County?
I love that we have a growing and thriving immigrant community. Somali community is the second largest to Minnesota. I think that speaks for the types of opportunities that are available for our residents here in Franklin County. I think how I engage is how I have continued to, since I've been an elected leader, is reaching out to community leaders, reaching out to religious leaders, and understanding the different cultures and perspectives, and taking their guidance and your leadership, and how do I engage with members of the community. I also think that the Board of Commissioners, we have an advisory board for newer Americans and first gens who are able to provide guidance and feedback to us about the the needs of the community, where we can invest our dollars. It's like I was made aware that there is a substance use issue just like everywhere else that needs to be addressed, that there is, housing issues, childcare, and all those things that are just similar issues that everyone else is having, but wanting people from the community want the funds to go to people that they trust and that, have had a relationship in the community. So I think it's important for us to continue to meet and talk and engage. And so, we can have an exchange of information and we could be helpful to each other. And I think we've been able to do that. I've been able to do that in a real intentional way. And I look forward to doing that over the next 4 years.
Before we conclude the interview, Commissioner Crawley, what is your message to the Somali American community that will watch this program?
To the Somali American neighbors that we have who are looking at this and thinking, wow, Franklin County is doing good. We are. But I also think that we can do better. And the way that we can do better in making sure that every resident, whether you are a Somali American or a Mexican American, or no matter what your background is, that you have value and you have something to contribute to this community to make it better. And I want to hear from you, and I want to have a relationship with you. And so never hesitate to reach out. I am my neighbors are me, and I can only be successful by working in partnership with each and every one of you. And so at any point in time, you can always reach out to my office. I'm located at 373 South High Street on the 26th floor, or you can email me at erica.crawley@franklincounty.ohio.gov. And thank you for tuning in and listening to what our priorities are in the county.
Thank you, Commissioner Erica Crawley. Well, here's where we conclude our interview with Franklin County Commissioner. Commissioner Erica Crawley, thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
I appreciate it as well.
Well, let's all remember to vote on November 8th. Great politicians like our commissioner who is here with us will be running for re-elections, so do not forget that. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.